3 reasons why coaching is worth your time. But first, let me address something I fundamentally believe is true. Coaching is not enough. And I am someone who invested in 2 different coaching programs, who's a lifelong yogi and been working on yoga for 10 years and completing a certification now, who's a trained fitness instructor, who loves the body and mind and believes it's my mission to help people activate the creative mind that exists, period, and gets manifested through us. And yet, why it is not enough. Coaching is not enough. One-on-one therapy is not enough because the best of human creativity, the best of the human mind up until now has created systems that are actively keeping life from us. So even if we as individuals woke up one-on-one through some type of plant medicine or therapy or coaching, it's my belief that that process would move too slow in response to the impacts that the other systems that are running in the background would have that are going toward self-destruction. One example is that nuclear weapons and weapons that have the capacity to destroy us as a planet will be readily, I don't want to say readily available, but will be more accessible than they have ever been as AI continues to develop in the hands of people who are less conscious. So the capacity for harm is greater. And we need humans who are working on the systems change, the policy change, the legal change, the concern for the human being, the access of livelihood and dignity, the protection of land. We need that work happening alongside any other kind of individual, personal change work. And coaching matters. Because in order to have structures and processes that do not just replicate the patterns that we have already seen, we will need new thought. We will need creative thought. We will need courageous action. Courageous action does not come from any amount of studying alone. It comes from being able to make a choice in the moment. That's what embodiment is. That's what coaching and therapy that really get at the layers beyond the cognitive mind, but into the body and into the energetics are able to do. They're able to help activate the parts of you that are capable of acting in alignment with greater strength, greater power. So first is I have to do this because there's not a word for it. Shalom, wholeness, the reconstruction of the mind. That gets to happen in a skilled coaching session, bringing together the parts that feel at war. Secondly, dropping down into the embodied pieces of ourselves, the subconscious, the places we're holding generational patterns, the places that we're holding those fight, flight, and freeze trauma responses so that we can actually act. And thirdly, accountability. It's not that I don't believe that humans can act in greater justice and greater goodness, but there's something about a very powerful coaching session where you are actually being held by the authority of another human. We are all just human. But when I'm holding a coaching space, it is the authority in me. It's the the part of me that is greatly connected to truth, love, and power. And when that part of you gets to be seen, that part in you also knows that it's safer and being held accountable on that level, not on any other person's standard or agenda, but on the standard and agenda that you, at your core, deeply desire. And you have someone there on the other side, bringing you back, bringing you back, bringing you back, which can happen through self-work, being extremely, deeply, deeply self-reflective. But even for me, as someone who loves to write, who loves to read, who loves to walk, who loves to study, it really wasn't until I got into coaching where those childish parts of myself that want to run away, that my intellect, that my ego cannot override, were seen, loved, and held accountable to being loved, that the change could happen. They're not held accountable to change. That's what ego Libby wants. They're held accountable to love, to be welcomed in the safety and the sovereignty of my own queendom. And that is what coaching is about creating that structure of justice, of strength, of a wisdom, of love that you want to see out there in here first. If this interests you, you can message me at calendly.com/liberatory/discovery/love/connection. All different types of sessions, depending on if you want to learn about my 3-month experience, just get a coaching session just to even feel what this is, or just connect as humans.